All right, friends, in the last one of the last videos, I said I was over it and I was buying a jump pack, and I told everybody to put their favorite in the comments and I'd start looking them up and decide what I wanted. So here's what I got, and we'll talk about why right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man, and in that video, I think it was with the WD Alice Chalmers, I said I was tired of always having to bring something else to jump, you know, move another vehicle or something, so because it seems like everything's always dead all the time. I don't know how that happens, but it is. So everybody put in the comments what they liked, and there was all different kinds. There was a lot of people who said they liked this NAPA boost deal, and I looked into those, and I watched videos where guys compared different jump packs and what have you. Now, I found a lot of people who liked this NAPA brand that was like the 650, and they said it was spectacular. They really liked it. So I thought, if the 650 is good, well, then the 850 has to be even better, because it does 12 and 24, and so if I'm using it on 12 most of the time, that should mean that it has extra, you know, stuff that it's not using. So that was part of it. Another part of it was I could go locally and buy it, so if I have a problem, I got somebody I can yell at right to their face. That's going to make me a lot happier than talking to somebody on the phone. And then another reason why I decided I wanted this style instead of one of those little things like the Nico whatever is that style of battery pack. I read a lot of reviews and stuff where people said they don't last as long, like they last and I'm sure guys are going to say, oh, we've had ours for years and it works great, and I'm sure it has to do with the situation, you know, but I'm not going to be using it all the time. But I need one that's fairly heavy duty to start diesels and stuff like that, and you know, the little thin cables and stuff on those, I couldn't wrap my mind around that was actually going to hold up and do what I wanted. So the thing it had going for it was lightweight and cheap, which is the opposite of this. It was not that cheap. It was $400, $399 or $98, something like that. And that's about what I had wanted to spend. I mean, I could get a really spectacular one for $1,000. I saw some on the internet where people said this is the best ever made. But I am more of a jump pack hobbyist than an enthusiast. I'm not going to use it every day, but I want one that's going to do what I want. So I went with this, and we're going to figure it out together, because I've never used one and I don't know. So let's get it out of the box, figure out what we're going to do. That's another, when I was comparing them just a second ago, that I was going to mention and I didn't. Another negative of this one right away, I can tell you, is the weight. This weighs 38 pounds and those other ones weighed just like a couple pounds. So if weight is an issue or a factor in it, this probably isn't the one. However, the next one down from this only weighs like 20 pounds. It weighs like half the weight. So, you know, I don't know. We'll find out, but let's open it up and let's explore together, because I'm sure that I'm not going to be able to take it out of this box and use it. I'm going to have to probably charge it up first or something. Maybe not, but we're going to find out. Probably would have been good if I had, you know, carried a pocket knife, but I got out of the habit of that because of the school bus. It's highly illegal if you get caught with a pocket knife, even as a driver. So I just got into the habit of not doing that. All right, I guess if you want to see the model number, CJS24V850A. I assume 24 volt, 850 amp. I don't know anything about these. It might be possible that it could kill you. I don't know. Right away. That is a stout piece of stuff right there. So what do we got in the box? Well, we got we need to read, is what we got. We got some cigarette lighter jobbies, but I don't really know what that's for, if that's to charge it or if that is to run something else off of. I see it's got a plug, so you just plug it into the wall there, or into an extension cord to charge. But let's read. Operating instructions. Someone should always be within range of your voice or close enough to come to your aid when working near a battery. Ever jump start a frozen battery? Yeah, okay, don't touch together. Yeah, do not submerge in water. Okay, we know all that. We're not that stupid. Let's skip ahead to like the next thing. It's getting windy now for no reason, so perhaps we'll go sit in the pickup to read. All right, now maybe we can hear. Let's see. This jump starter provides plenty of power for starting vehicles, more than enough to start most cars, trucks, SUVs, and medium commercial vehicles. The unit features a master on-off switch. The unit should be kept in the off position all times when it's not in use. Yeah, wouldn't it make sense to have it here next to us whilst we're talking? Okay. The unit features long cable reach to allow safe, easy positioning. That's another reason why I like this versus the other one. I think these are like 48-inch cables. So that should be able to get to some places. Unit features long cable. Unit will power most 12-volt accessories equipped with a male 12-volt plug. The unit will provide USB power to small electronics, USB-A and USB-C. So this should be able to charge my phone. It's got both styles of stuff. The iPad actually uses that kind, and then the phone uses the Apple style cord, but then you could plug it into here on the other end. So that would be handy, I guess, if you had this with you. Sure. Battery status. Charge, right? I guess that's what that means. Battery status. The message seen corresponds to the battery's state of charge. If the battery's voltage is less than 12.4, the display will flash the voltage and show charge continuously, indicating the unit should be charged immediately. If the battery's voltage is between 12 and 12.8, the display will show the battery's voltage and then flash charge 3 times, indicating the unit is in need of charge. If the battery's voltage is above 12.8, the display will alternatively flash the battery's voltage in full, indicating that the unit is fully charged. Okay, here we go. Recharging. This is what we need to know. Upon initial purchase, charge your jump starter until the display reads FUL, full. Recharge the jump pack using household extension cord connected to the built-in charger in the back of the unit. Connect the female end of the extension cord to a charger plug on the back of the unit. Charger plug has 2 blades and resembles a standard household plug that would fit into a 120-volt wall receptacle. Connect the male end of the extension cord to the AC outlet. Charge until the display reads full. Oh, here we go. The unit can remain connected to AC power indefinitely without adverse consequences. The charging system is fully automatic and will only consume power if needed to maintain the onboard battery. The guy working at the store said with his jump pack, he always leaves it plugged in, and he said it's worked for years and years and years. So that may be what I have to do, is just find a home for it somewhere and then have an extension cord that's plugged right in all the time. If a display shows ER3 when you connect an extension cord, the internal battery is damaged or too discharged to accept a charge. If the display shows ER4, suspect a problem with the internal charger. Let's hope that we don't have that problem. So we're going to need a charge before we can try it, but it would be best to perhaps understand how this works. Okay, confirm vehicle voltage. Turn ignition off, ensure on-off is in the off position. For making cable connections, clamp the red to the positive and the black to the negative, blah, blah, blah. Unless it's alternate, like the 770's positive ground. Clamp the negative to the vehicle, non-moving metal part such as the frame. If the warning buzzer beeps, do not advance to step 7. Determine source of error. One of 2 error codes displayed, ER1, reverse polarity, or ER2, over voltage. Jump starter and voltages do not match. Okay. So it is kind of somewhat smart, where it's going to help me not do something totally foolish. Choose jump starter voltage, turning to the selector knob to the desired mode to match vehicle voltage. Stay clear of batteries. Start the vehicle. Turn on the ignition. If the vehicle doesn't start within 6 seconds, let the jump starter cool for 3 minutes before attempting to start the vehicle, or you may damage the jump starter. Ooh, I don't like that. That's a long time to sit and wait. So you have 6 seconds to get it started, and then you have to let it sit for 3 minutes. When the vehicle is being started, careful moving parts, disconnect cables. Your jump starter is... Oh. Okay, I get this now. What this thing is the jumper cord, so that if I was going to change a vehicle battery and I wanted to maintain the memory, I could plug it into the 12 volt of this, and then I could plug it into the 12 volt of the vehicle, and it would maintain its memory. So that explains that. USB power. To activate the USB outlets, quickly press the USB button. You'll see the USB status light green. This indicates the USB outlets are now powered. So can I do that? Okay, so now they're powered. Now they're not powered. Cool. Okay, so we need to, before we do anything, we need to plug this in and let it charge. And then we're going to put it through its paces and try to start some stuff in various states of sadness. And we will see if it's possible, you know what I'm saying. So what I get by reading this too is that it does need to be, we need to find a place to just leave it plugged in so it's always plugged in, so the voltage never drops too low, because then it won't take a charge. And I have had stuff like that happen before, and a good example of that is on the iPad. It came with that Apple Pencil. That was like $200 that you could write with and stuff. And it was kind of handy to have, but I didn't charge it enough, and it got so low that now it can't be charged, and there was no way to fix it. It was like they said you had to throw it away and buy a new one. So that was nice of them. But anyway, I don't want that to happen to this, so we're going to have to make sure we always keep it plugged in. And it's smart enough that it will shut on and off and not, be consuming any energy if it doesn't need it. So let me go find a place to plug this in, and then we will try it out whenever it's fully charged. All right, we have full chargeage, and we are here at the Super 66, which we did not get started last time because the battery was dead. So we're gonna give it a try. Okay, so I got the thing on, and I'll show you. Come on. Yeah, we got nothing. Very little, if anything. All right, so now I'm not an expert on this, but we're gonna put that one there, and we're gonna put this one on here. And I don't have my helper. See, it says 11.7. That ought to be enough to do it, but now I got 12.7. Look at that. How about that? Cool. And it even shows that the alternator's charging. We'll shut that off. How about that? Yeah. So it'll start that easy. This hasn't run in a long time. She's running like a champ though. It's got a brand new motor, so it ought to run good. I feel like we should let it run a little bit. But I also feel like like I don't want to climb out of here unnecessarily. Did I show you that? Totally done. It just needs bolted up all the way. I got it test fit on the tractor. Got to get the bolts to do this. But we're in our stages of getting ready to do all that, so. Anyway, I'm gonna let this run a minute and then we're gonna try to jump something else. All right, what about this 1365? Will it run? Last time I think we started in the winter, the battery was almost dead. Let's see what happens. Oh yeah, I forgot how these work. It's gonna start on its own probably. Okay, we didn't need a jump box for that one. That's good. It is cold out here today. We about need to put fuel in it. I think everything in here will run, so it's not like we need this, but the 1855 still has bad batteries, so we will try it on that one in a second. See, now that we own this, nothing will ever go dead ever again. But I'm okay with that. I mean, it's not really fun to lug around. It is heavy. But as well as it worked a minute ago, I mean, it didn't even break a sweat. All right. Okay, 1855. Let's give it a test. I got nothing. Like zero. Did I do that right? Yeah, that's off, that's on. Absolutely zero. So, let's take our lid off. Probably would be easier to go to the starter, but for the sake of what we're doing here. Okay, the back one's ground. The front one is hot. So I'm gonna put that there. We're gonna put this one on that second one. Yeah, see, look at that. 9 volts. We had nothing, remember? 8.7. Let's crank her up to 12.9. Okay, we got to wait on it now. That's the only bad thing. It's cold. So those batteries are super duper not helping us. I mean, they are very, very, very low. As evidenced from a minute ago when it shut off. If we do this, will it show it again? I guess not. Maybe we gave it enough boost that it's... But anyway, we were down to 9 volts, so that obviously wasn't going to help us. It's not spinning as fast enough, but that is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's pretty low. I'm tempted to kick it up to 24 volts and see what would happen. But I bet those things would probably go boom. I'm also tempted to take this over to the starter side and hook it right to the starter and see if it makes it a difference. All right, so far here, we weren't able to get this started with just the jump pack alone, but I'm going to try to go to the other side and hook it right to the starter. It needs to cool off a second anyway, because I think it said 6 seconds of cranking and then let it rest for 3 minutes. Also, to note, I mean, this tractor hasn't been running since, I mean, a good while. It's been It actually says in the instructions to just clip this to the frame somewhere, so we're following the directions technically. See, right here we got 12 volts. Oop, or not. How could we do this? Like that? So what I'm learning from this is, okay, 11.9. When we were on the other side, we had more, and I wonder if that's cable loss, like what we've lost through the... Now we're up to 12.5 with the thing. It works a lot better right there. Yep, that's what you got to do. If you can go right to the starter, it'll work a lot better. See, now we're up to, it's charging the battery. Sure. Oh, I love the 310 turbo. Let's go try in a very extreme case and see if this thing can do it for us. So let me get you up there where I have in mind. Well, this isn't what I had in mind, but while we're here, let's try the steel wheel 60. If I remember right, it appears like the battery's dead. It should have no trouble starting this at all because it's small. But our battery is not helping us, and that is depressing because that is a fairly new-ish battery. Alright, what you're going to want to do is put it right next to all the flammable... Yeah, moo. I'll get to you in a minute, cow. Let's try this. 11.7, 12.5. Let her eat. There you go. And this one's obviously not hooked up, so it's not going to charge. So we can shut that off. But how about that? This thing's running a lot better too. Amazing. Good oil pressure. Let's shut that off. So that's good. We'll put it back to sleep for a little bit. We're going to be using this upcoming videos. I got that plan in my mind. We're just gathering supplies. Let's go to the final test of this. I don't know if it'll work, but we'll give it a try. All right, this is our final test. I'm going to try to see if it will crank this, which I have done nothing to. It's actually got a 6-volt battery hooked up in it. It might tell us incorrect voltage. But what I'm going to do is just try to go. I'm going to just hook it to the starter directly. And if this works, when I turn it on, it should start cranking. But I'm having trouble finding a good ground bolt with the shape of these clamps. See, I got nothing. There you go. It's working. So a guy could use it like that. I don't recommend it. I wonder if it would be better to like get it clipped up in there and then turn it on. Yep, it'll do it that way. All right. So that's pretty impressive. That's the kind of stuff right there that I would be using this for every day, or hopefully not every day, but on the days when I need it. And if it'll do all of those things, then I have to say that I am so far in my first half hour of use impressed with this. It has done everything I asked of it. It started everything. It even cranked this over, which has never been cranked over by me with the starter. I mean, we're still, depending on when this video comes out, we're still in the middle of taking stuff off. So yeah, that was the first maiden crank on this with the electrical system. And the jump pack did it with no help from a battery, because it has that old junk 6-volt in it. Not even the right stuff. So yeah, I mean, what can you say? For the price, I think that this was the choice. That's why I went with this. $400, and it cranked everything I wanted. Like, I know there's better ones out there, but I think spending $1,000 on something like this is a little much. I really think $400 is a little much, but I'm cheap. So, you know, I could have bought the 650 one, and it was like half the price, maybe 200 or something. But I thought, for as much stuff as I get into, and then later on, I'd eventually like to get a little 1250, which is a little Fiat, and they are 24 volts. So see, this one would be able to do all of that too. So anyway, what do I think about this? Well, in the first day, I'm impressed. The time will tell on the longevity of it, but I think that the secret is going to be, I need to keep it put somewhere and have it plugged in whenever I'm done with it, so that it's always ready to go. That was always my big reason of why I didn't have a jump pack, because I knew that I would never remember to plug it in before I was going to have to use it. And used to, they were like, you know, took AC adapters and that kind of stuff. I like that this is just directly plug in with an extension cord and go. So anyway, should you buy this? Well, that's up to you. I know there's other ones out there. There's definitely lighter ones out there, because that would be my only complaint with this. It's 38 point something pounds, and just carrying it around a while ago, you wouldn't want to do that very far. You'd want to have it in your pickup or in your golf cart or something, and take it as far as you could that way before having to carry it by hand. But for what it is, I think it seems to be doing the job good. And like I said, we will test it over the next years and see what the longevity's like, and whenever it craps out, you'll be the first to know. So right now, I'm impressed with it. So if you want one, find your NAPA, and there's the model number. But to each his own, you know, each one has its advantages and disadvantages. If you weren't going to start heavy equipment every day, you wouldn't need something this big. But you know, so far, the part of the reason I bought it too was I asked them, I said, how many of these have you sold? And they said, well, we sold several to like the county highway garage, and to these other businesses. They bought one and they liked it so well, they came back and bought a second one. So that tells me that, you know, we might have a chance with this. So that's why I went with this. Don't be offended if I didn't take your suggestion. I'm sure it works for you, but I'm going to try this and see how I get along with it. So I guess that's where we'll leave this one. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. That helps out the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Leave a comment. Tell me that you liked it, or tell me that you hated it. Tell me I'm a moron. I really don't care, but anything that you say helps us out too. So thank you again, as always, for watching, and I will see you in the next one.